For years, I thought I had narcissism all figured out, but I was wrong. And if you believe what I used to, you might be falling into the same trap. Today, I'm exposing the shocking truths about narcissism that even I misunderstood. Section 1. The misconceptions I believed about narcissism. When I first started learning about narcissism, I thought I had a clear understanding. I believed what most people do. Narcissists are just arrogant, self-absorbed people who crave attention. But I was wrong. The more I studied, the more I realized how deceptive, complex, and dangerous narcissism truly is. Here are the biggest misconceptions I had and the shocking truths I discovered. 1. Narcissists are just confident people. At first, I thought narcissists were simply overly confident individuals with big egos. I assumed they just love themselves a little too much. But the truth: narcissists don't actually love themselves. They create a false self to cover deep insecurity. Their confidence is not real. It's a mask they wear to manipulate and control others. Beneath the surface, they are terrified of being seen as weak, unimportant, or ordinary. Their so-called confidence is fragile and entirely dependent on external validation, which is why they react with extreme anger or manipulation when someone challenges their false self-image. 2. Narcissists are easy to spot. I used to believe that narcissists were loud, obvious, and easy to identify. You know, the typical arrogant boss, the self-obsessed friend, or the flashy social media show-off. But I quickly learned that not all narcissists are grandiose. Some are dangerously covert. Covert narcissists don't flaunt their superiority in obvious ways. Instead, they use guilt, victimhood, and subtle manipulation to control people. They may appear shy, humble, or even self-sacrificing, but behind the scenes, they are just as destructive as overt narcissists. This makes them even more dangerous because they can fool people for years before their true nature is exposed. 3. Narcissists don't feel pain. Another major misconception I had was that narcissists were completely emotionless and didn't feel pain. I assumed they were like machines, cold, calculating, and indifferent. But the reality is far more disturbing. Narcissists do feel emotions, but not in the way a healthy person does. Instead of processing pain in a constructive way, they convert their pain into rage, jealousy, and control. They don't reflect on their mistakes or grow from hardships. Instead, they blame others, seek revenge, or manipulate situations to regain their sense of power. For example, if a narcissist experiences rejection, they don't feel sad like a normal person would. Instead, they become enraged, obsessed, and may even try to destroy the person who hurt them just to prove they are still in control. 4. Once you leave a narcissist, you're free. I used to think that walking away from a narcissist was enough to break free from their influence. If I went no contact, they'd just disappear from my life, right? Wrong. Even after leaving, narcissists continue to have a psychological hold on their victims. They've spent months or even years programming you to doubt yourself, question your reality, and feel responsible for their emotions. That's why so many survivors struggle with self-doubt, guilt, and even longing for the narcissist even when they know they were treated terribly. On top of that, narcissists often don't let go easily. They may try to hoover you back in with fake apologies, love bombing, or even smear campaigns to ruin your reputation. Understanding this was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. Final thoughts. These were just a few of the biggest lies I believed about narcissism. And if you've believed them too, don't feel bad. Narcissists thrive on deception. They want people to misunderstand their nature so they can keep manipulating and controlling without being exposed. But once you know the truth, you're no longer an easy target. And in the next section, I'm going to share the hard truths I discovered about narcissists, truths that completely changed how I see them. Stay with me because you need to hear this. Section 2. The hard truths I discovered about narcissists. When I started digging deeper into narcissism, I thought I had figured them out. I believed that once you understood their manipulation tactics, you could predict their behavior and avoid their traps. But I was wrong. The more I learned, the more I realized that narcissists operate in ways that are far more deceptive, calculated, and destructive than I initially thought. Here are the hardest truths I discovered about narcissists, truths that completely changed how I see them. 1. Narcissism isn't just an individual problem, it's a system. I used to believe narcissism was just about individual toxic people, but I soon realized that narcissism exists on a much larger scale. It's embedded in families, workplaces, relationships, and even entire societies. In families, narcissistic parents create an environment where children either become narcissists themselves or grow up with deep emotional wounds that make them easy targets for future abusers. In workplaces, narcissistic bosses thrive by exploiting employees, taking credit for others' work, and gaslighting anyone who questions them. In relationships, narcissists condition their partners to feel responsible for their happiness, making it nearly impossible for them to leave without guilt and self-doubt. Once I understood this, I realized that escaping one narcissist doesn't mean you're safe. You have to recognize and break free from the entire narcissistic system. 2. Not all narcissists are the same. Some are harder to detect. Before, I thought narcissists all had the same traits: arrogant, self-absorbed, and aggressive. But then I discovered that narcissism exists in different forms, and some types are even more dangerous because they hide their true nature so well. Grandiose narcissists, the stereotypical ones: loud, charming, dominant, and openly manipulative. Covert narcissists, these are the ones I never saw coming. They appear shy, self-pitying, and even humble. Instead of openly bragging, they manipulate through guilt, passive aggressiveness, and playing the victim. Communal narcissists, these narcissists pretend to be selfless, acting like they care about social causes or religion, but only to gain admiration and control. Malignant narcissists, the most dangerous type, highly manipulative, cruel, and even sadistic. These narcissists enjoy watching others suffer and will go to extreme lengths to destroy people. Realizing that not all narcissists are obvious predators was a wake-up call. Some of the worst ones hide behind a mask of kindness and victimhood. 3. Narcissists do feel pain, but they convert it into something else. One of the most shocking truths I discovered is that narcissists do feel emotions. But instead of processing pain like normal people, they turn it into rage, jealousy, or revenge. If they feel insecure, they don't try to build confidence. Instead, they tear others down to make themselves feel superior. If they feel rejected, they don't accept it and move on. They obsessively seek revenge to prove their worth. If they feel guilty, which rarely happens, they don't try to make amends. They blame someone else or rewrite reality to escape responsibility. This is why narcissists never change. They never self-reflect, they never grow, and they never take accountability. Their entire survival depends on shifting their pain onto others. 4. Narcissists never let you go even after you leave. I used to think that leaving a narcissist meant they would move on. I was so wrong. Narcissists don't just walk away when you cut them off. They see it as an insult to their ego, and they'll do everything in their power to regain control. They might hover, coming back with fake apologies, promises to change, or even pretending they've found God just to lure you back. If hovering fails, they might smear your reputation, telling everyone that you're the toxic one. If that doesn't work, they may stalk, harass, or even try to sabotage your life in ways you never expected. This was one of the hardest truths to accept. Leaving a narcissist isn't just about physically walking away, it's about mentally and emotionally breaking free too. 5. Narcissists will never change no matter how much you love them. This was the most painful truth I had to accept. No amount of love, patience, or understanding will ever change a narcissist. At first I believed that if you showed them love, they would eventually heal. I thought that maybe deep down they just needed someone to care about them. But here's the truth. They don't want to heal. They see vulnerability as weakness and have no desire to change. They don't want genuine love. They want control, admiration, and someone to feed their ego. They don't see you as a person, they see you as a resource, someone to use when needed and discard when convenient. I realized that trying to change a narcissist is like trying to fill a bottomless pit. No matter how much you give, it will never be enough for them. And the longer you stay, the more they will drain you until there's nothing left. Final thoughts. These hard truths completely changed the way I see narcissists. At first they were difficult to accept, but in the end they were liberating. Because once you understand the truth about narcissists, you stop expecting them to change, stop falling for their manipulation, and finally take back your power. And in the next section, I'll share the most important lessons you need to know to protect yourself and truly heal. Stay with me because this is where the real transformation happens. Section 3. What you need to know to protect yourself from narcissists. After uncovering the hard truths about narcissists, I realized that just understanding them wasn't enough. I needed a strategy to protect myself, heal, and never fall into their traps again. And if you've ever been affected by a narcissist, you need this knowledge too. Here's what I wish someone had told me sooner: the key things you must know to break free, protect your mind, and regain control over your life. 1. Healing from a narcissist isn't just about no contact, it's about reprogramming your mind. Many people think that once you go no contact with a narcissist, you're free. And while that's a crucial step, it's not enough, because even after they're gone, the damage they did to your mind remains. Narcissists program you to doubt yourself, second-guess your decisions, and feel like you're not good enough. They use gaslighting to warp your perception of reality, making you question what's real and what's not. They create emotional triggers so that even after they're gone, you react to situations based on their past conditioning. This is why many people still feel trapped, even after leaving a narcissist. To truly heal, you have to deprogram their influence on your mind by practicing self-trust, learning to believe in your own thoughts and decisions again. Rebuilding self-worth, reminding yourself that you are not who the narcissist made you feel you were. Strengthening emotional boundaries so that no one can ever manipulate you like Nefted again. 2. You do not have to prove anything to a narcissist. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to prove themselves to a narcissist. I get it, I used to do the same thing. I wanted to prove that I was right, that I wasn't the bad person they painted me to be. But here's the truth: narcissists don't argue to understand you, they argue to fuse, dominate, and control. They don't want the truth, they want to win. Even if you prove them wrong, they will never admit it because their ego can't handle it. So stop wasting your energy trying to make them see reason. Your peace is more important than their validation. The moment you stop engaging, stop defending yourself, and stop caring about their opinion, you take away their power over you. 3. The narcissist's worst nightmare is losing emotional control over you. Narcissists thrive on reactions, that's their fuel. Whether it's anger, sadness, begging, or fear, they feed off your emotional responses. That's why they say things that deliberately trigger your insecurities. Discard you just to see if you'll chase them. Start fights over nothing, just to keep you emotionally entangled. The best way to defeat a narcissist: stop reacting. When they try to provoke you, respond with indifference. When they expect an emotional breakdown, stay calm and controlled. When they disappear and expect you to chase, let them go. Once they see that their tricks no longer work, they lose power over you. And that's when you truly break free. 4. Narcissists want you to stay stuck. Your best revenge is moving forward. Narcissists don't want you to heal. They want you to stay stuck in the pain, questioning yourself, and feeling like you'll never be happy without them. Why? Because the moment you move on, they lose control over you. Your best revenge is not exposing them, arguing with them, or making them regret losing you. Your best revenge is thriving without them. Becoming emotionally untouchable. Living a life where they are completely irrelevant. When you heal, grow, and find happiness, you destroy everything they tried to take from you. 5. The only way to fully break free is to shift the focus back to you. The biggest mistake I made: spending too much time trying to understand the narcissist and not enough time focusing on myself. I used to ask, why did they do this to me? Do they really love me? Will they ever change? But none of those questions helped me heal. The moment I started asking different questions, my life changed. How can I heal from this? What do I need to rebuild my confidence? How can I protect myself from toxic people in the future? The real secret to breaking free from a narcissist isn't about understanding them, it's about focusing on you. Your healing. your growth, your future. Because the truth is, the narcissist isn't your problem anymore, you are your priority now. Final thoughts. Narcissists want to steal your confidence, your sanity, and your happiness. But once you see the truth, once you learn how to take back your power, they can never control you again. And that's why I made this video, to help you escape, heal, and rise above their influence. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments what's the most powerful lesson you've learned about narcissists. Let's talk about it below. And if you're ready to fully break free, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Because together we are stronger than their manipulation. Now go reclaim your power. Conclusion. So yes, I was wrong about narcissism, but I corrected my mistakes. And now I want to help you do the same. If you've been trapped in their game, it's time to break free. If this resonated, hit like, subscribe, and let me know what was the biggest myth you once believed about narcissism.